Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're tackling a genuinely frustrating problem. It's one many of us face, really, in our homes, maybe businesses too. How do you get those high-quality video and audio signals over, long distances without a huge mess of cables? Or even worse, the signal just dropping out or looking terrible?
Yeah.
Like, picture this. You've got that amazing new 4K TV setup, looks fantastic.
Right.
But your gaming console or your media player, it has to be tucked away in a cabinet, like way across the room.
Happens all the time.
And running a really long HDMI cable often just doesn't work well.
Yeah.
Flicker, bad performance, sometimes just nothing.
A black screen.
Eh?
It's a real headache.
Precisely. And that's exactly where today's deep dive comes in. We've been looking through some excellent material about a specific solution. It's the WolfPack 4K 60Hz HDBaseT HDMI Extender. This one has 2 HDMI outputs.
Okay.
So our mission today is basically to demystify this whole technology, understand what HDBaseT actually is, why it's kind of a game changer for extending HD signals.
And, what makes this WolfPack extender a really good example of what it can do. We'll look at how it lets you send, like crystal clear video, great audio, even control signals.
Yeah.
All over a single standard Ethernet cable.
Okay, so if you've ever fought with cable lengths or maybe dreamed of simplifying your home theater setup,
Yeah.
or even just want to get your head around all the AV acronyms without getting totally lost,
Definitely.
you're in the right place. Let's unpack this. So for years, right, if you wanted to send a good HDMI signal more than, 15, maybe 20 feet, things got tricky fast.
They really did.
You often needed these expensive, thick cables, sometimes special ones, or maybe active extenders that needed their own power.
Right, external power supplies.
And sometimes they messed with the signal, you'd lose quality. It felt like a compromise was always involved.
Yeah.
So what is HDBaseT exactly? How does it cut through all that complexity?
Well, the real genius here, I think, is how HDBaseT just completely rethinks the basic limits of HDMI over distance. It's not just some fancy cable type. It's a full industry standard.
Okay.
And it allows for transmitting uncompressed HD video, audio, even Ethernet, power, and control signals. They bundle this all up and call it the 5-play feature set.
5-play.
And it does all of this over just one single, usually inexpensive Ethernet cable, like a CT5E, CT6, or CT7.
Just a standard network cable.
Pretty much, yeah. And the source material we looked at makes it really clear. HDBaseT delivers truly uncompressed video.
Okay, that's important.
It is. It means absolutely no degradation, no added latency. The picture quality should be identical to using like a short 3-foot HDMI cable.
Wow.
And it supports everything. Legacy sources, demanding stuff like gaming consoles, all the standard TV and PC video formats, even 3D. So it really tackles that core problem, keeping the signal perfect, no compromise, even over long runs.
That uncompressed part is definitely key, and you said it's a standard. I noticed in the material mentions of HDBaseT 1.0 versus 2.0, usually a version bump like that means, well, something significant changed. Were there limitations with 1.0? What did 2.0 bring to the table?
That's a really good question about the evolution. HDBaseT 1.0, the original spec, it really laid the foundation. It was mainly focused on point-to-point, getting that 5-play signal set from device A to device B over a long cable.
Right, the basic extension problem.
Exactly. It did that job, working at the basic physical and data link layers. But HDBaseT 2.0, which came out in August 2013, that was a pretty dramatic expansion. It went way beyond just simple one-to-one connections.
Okay, how so?
Well, a critical addition in 2.0 was something they called home play features. These were specifically designed to make the tech simpler and more cost-effective for, people integrating it into their homes.
Ah, more consumer-friendly.
Right. But the really groundbreaking part, I think, is that 2.0 added much more sophisticated networking, switching, and control capabilities. So it transforms it from just being a direct link into something much more versatile. Instead of just one source to one display, you can now properly support point-to-multipoint.
Ah, like one source to several screens.
Exactly, or even multi-stream applications. You could potentially send different content to different displays, all managed through the HDBaseT T-Link. And another big thing, 2.0 brought inherent support for USB 2.0.
USB. Over the same cable.
Yep, and other native interfaces too. This is actually huge for manufacturers because it lets them streamline their designs. They can remove multiple separate interfaces and conversion chips that were often needed before.
Makes sense. Simpler hardware.
Simpler hardware, smaller devices, easier to implement switches. And for you, the user, what this means is more robust, more flexible, and more integrated systems, both for home and commercial setups. Think about extending your keyboard and mouse for a PC tucked away.
Oh, right.
Or maybe even a touchscreen interface for your smart home controls, all over that same single Ethernet cable alongside the video and audio.
Wow, okay. So HDBaseT 2.0 isn't just about extending a signal. It's almost like building a little mini network for AV and control, handling data, power potentially, USB. That's really interesting for like total home integration. But we hear about lots of ways to extend signals, basic HDMI repeaters, fiber optic extenders, AV over IP solutions. Given all those choices, what really makes HDBaseT stand out? Why would someone choose this specific technology?
Yeah, it's important to pinpoint what makes it unique, and the sources we looked at really emphasize HDBaseT's distinct position. It's currently the only technology that lets you use standard SAY6, 6A, or 7 Ethernet cable for uncompressed full HD multimedia content over distances like 70 meters, even up to 100 meters, depending on the specific product.
Uncompressed is the key word there again.
Absolutely, it's paramount for quality. And another huge advantage, some HDBaseT products can deliver significant power, up to 100 watts, over that same cable. It's called POSI, or power over cable.
Power over cable, so the display might not need its own power plug.
Exactly. Imagine simplifying installation like that. Your remote display or projector doesn't need a nearby power outlet. That's a massive benefit in many situations.
Definitely.
So the key benefits that the material outlines really hit those pain points we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
First, uncompressed video. Like we said, the picture quality at, say, 300 feet is meant to be identical to using a short HDMI cable. Full HD, 3D, 2K, 4K. No degradation, no compromise.
That's the dream, right?
It really is. Second, no more cable clutter. That single Ethernet cable replaces potentially, 3, 4, 5 different cables you might need otherwise? Video, audio, power control is much cleaner.
Tidier install.
Third, cost-effective and easy installation. It uses standard low-cost Ethernet cables, RJ45 connectors, stuff that might already be run in walls in many homes or offices. Big savings on specialized cables.
Makes sense.
Fourth, it's future-proof. HDBaseT has the bandwidth built in to handle not just today's 4K, but potentially double that resolution for future formats, maybe 8K. And crucially, it's the only standard right now for sending Ultra HD 4K video up to that 100-meter mark, so your setup won't be obsolete quickly.
Good point.
And finally, comprehensive support. It passes audio straight from the HDMI source, supports all the good stuff like Dolby Digital, DTS, Dolby True HD, DTS ASD, SD Master Audio, Cinema Sound.
Yeah.
Plus, it supports all those key HDMI features. EPG for your program guide, CEC so your remotes can talk to each other, ED for automatic picture setup, and HDCP content protection. It basically preserves everything your HDMI devices normally do.
Those benefits really do sound compelling, especially the uncompressed video and that power over cable idea. But just to, look at it from all angles, are there situations where HDBaseT might not be the best fit? Any drawbacks people should consider?
Yeah, that's a fair question. Definitely need a balanced view. While HDBaseT is incredibly powerful for what it does, it's still fundamentally a point-to-point, or with 2.0, point-to-multipoint technology.
Yep.
If you're talking about, say, a really complex, huge video matrix switching setup across an entire campus or large building with maybe dozens or hundreds of displays, traditional AV over IP solutions, while often more complex and costly, might offer more scalability for those massive deployments.
Right, for really big networks.
Yeah, and also that POC feature, power over cable. It's amazing, but not all HDBaseT extenders support it, or they might support different power levels. So you always have to check the specific product specs carefully if that's important to you.
Good caveat, check the specs.
Definitely. But honestly, for the vast majority of home uses or small to medium business installs, HDBaseT really hits a sweet spot for simplicity, performance, and cost effectiveness.
Okay, that clarifies its niche. So let's get specific now. Let's dive into this particular product from our sources. The WolfPack 4K 60Hz HDBaseT HDMI Extender with those 2 HDMI outputs. How does this specific device put all these HDBaseT features into practice?
Right, this WolfPack extender, the model HDTV HD70TR, it serves as a really excellent practical example of HDBaseT 2.0 in action. It shows off those advanced features quite nicely. It's engineered specifically to extend your 4K HDMI video and audio signal using all those benefits we've been discussing.
Okay, break it down for us.
Sure. Let's look at its capabilities. First, distance and resolution. This unit extends 4K video at a smooth 60 frames per second. So top quality, high-res content up to 110 feet. That's about 33.5 meters. And it does that over just a single CT6 Ethernet cable.
110 feet for 4K 60. That's pretty good.
It is. And if you're setting 1080p, the reach is even better. It goes up to 330 feet, roughly 100 meters, over that same TT6 cable. So it really shows off HDBaseT's long-distance chops without losing quality.
Nice. What about connections?
Okay, connectivity. The transmitter unit, the TX, it has one HDMI input for your source, like a Blu-ray player, game console, whatever. Standard. But crucially, it also includes an HDMI output right there on the transmitter itself.
Ah, a loop out.
Exactly, a loop out or pass-through. Fantastic for having a local monitor right next to your source, even while you're extending the signal somewhere else.
Useful.
Very useful. But here's where this specific WolfPack model gets interesting. The receiver unit, the RX at the far end, it actually features two HDMI outputs.
Two outputs, so you can run two screens from the one receiver.
Precisely. It lets you connect two displays at the remote location. It's effectively splitting the signal there. Perfect for maybe an adjacent room, or a TV in the kitchen nearby, or maybe different zones in a big open plan space. Adds a lot of flexibility.
Yeah, I can see uses for that. And compatibility. Latest standards.
Yep, compliance. It's fully compliant with both HDMI 2.0 and HDCP 2.2.
Okay, the important ones.
The really important ones. HDMI 2.0 handles the latest video standards, 4K 60, HDR potentially, depending on the source material format. And HDCP 2.2 is absolutely critical for playing protected 4K content from streaming services or Blu-rays. So your movies should just work. It specifically supports 4K at 60 Hz with 4.2 chroma subsampling, which provides great color accuracy for most content. Basically, your 4K TV gets fed a proper, high-quality signal.
Good. And the sound.
Audio support is also top tier. It handles uncompressed LPCM 7.1 surround sound at high sampling rates. Plus, it supports formats like Dolby True HD and DTS HD Master Audio.
The lossless format.
The lossless one. So you're getting genuine cinema quality sound, no compromise, perfectly synchronized with that pristine video feed.
Excellent. What about control? You mentioned control signals earlier.
Right, control signals. This extender handles bidirectional IR that's infrared and also bidirectional RS232.
Okay, what does that mean practically?
Practically, IR means you can take your standard remote control, point it at your TV or display at the far end, and those IR commands get sent all the way back down the Ethernet cable to your source device, maybe hidden in a cabinet.
So I can control my hidden Blu-ray player from the couch.
Exactly. And RS232 provides a more robust, wired, two-way communication channel that's often used for integrating with more professional home automation systems like Crestron or Control4. It allows for more sophisticated control, status feedback, things like that, managing both the source and the display from either end. It's like having a really long, invisible extension cord for all your remote controls and smart home commands.
That is genuinely a complete package then, especially with the two HDMI outs and all that control capability. Opens up a lot of options. So, okay, someone's listening, they're thinking, this sounds like what I need. What are the practical things? Getting it installed, what's actually in the box? Because sometimes those little details trip you up.
You're absolutely right. The practical side is crucial for a smooth experience. The source material highlights that this extender uses a single UTP cable that's unshielded twisted pair, your standard Ethernet cable. Specifically, they recommend CAT-T or Candy7 for the best performance, especially with 4K.
Okay, SAT6 or CT7. Got it.
Yeah, common and pretty affordable cabling. But they do stress that attention to detail when you terminate the cable, putting the connectors on the ends is really important.
How so?
So termination needs to follow the standard AEE568A or 568B wiring patterns. Those are the two common ways Ethernet cables are wired up. Most pre-made cables follow one of these, but if you're making your own, you need to be consistent.
Right.
And there's actually a very specific warning in the material. Don't use EZ45 connectors.
EZ45, what are those?
They're a type of RJ45 connector designed to be easier to terminate. The wires pass all the way through the end. But the warning suggests they might not provide the really solid, reliable contact needed for HDBaseT's high-speed signals over a distance. So using standard high-quality connectors and terminating them properly seems key.
Okay, good tip. Avoid the easy ones. So what do you actually get in the box when you buy this kit?
In terms of what you receive, yeah, it looks like a pretty comprehensive set designed to be ready to install. You get one HDMI transmitter, the HDTH-HE23UR model.
To the pair?
Or the pair. It includes both an IR blaster cable and an IR receiver cable. So you've got everything you need for those bidirectional remote control signals straight away.
Nice.
For the RS232 control, it includes the necessary DB9 to 3.5 millimeter stereo jack cables.
Okay.
They even provide mounting screw packs, looks like in 2 bags, which is handy for installing the units neatly and securely, maybe behind a TV or in a rack. And finally, it comes with 2 DC 5-volt 2-amp power adapters, one for the transmitter, one for the receiver, so both ends get powered up.
That sounds reassuringly complete, like you shouldn't need to run back to the store for little bits and pieces.
Exactly.
And knowing about the cable standards and that specific connector warning that could save someone hours of frustration trying to figure out why things aren't working perfectly, those details matter.
They absolutely do. And one more thing, your peace of mind. The source material also mentions a 2-year WolfPack Care Advanced Replace Limited Warranty comes standard.
Okay, what does that entail?
It's a significant benefit. Basically, if a component fails within those 2 years, you contact their tech support, they verify the issue, and then they'll ship out a replacement unit, new or like new, often within 24 hours.
That's fast.
It is. They do ask for a credit card just as a temporary hold until they get the defective unit back, and you are responsible for the shipping cost to return the old one. But that rapid replacement service can be invaluable, especially if it's a critical part of your setup. Keep things running, and apparently there are also options to buy extended 3-year or 5-year warranties if you want that coverage for longer.
Right, good to have options. Wow, okay, that was an incredibly thorough deep dive into this WolfPack HDBaseT Extender. We've really covered the ground, from the basic problem of long HDMI runs to how HDBaseT provides such an elegant solution, its evolution to 2.0, those unique advantages, and then the nitty-gritty of how this specific product delivers on all those promises.
Yeah, I think the real takeaway here is just how a single, robust standard like HDBaseT, shown off by a product like this extender, can just fundamentally simplify what used to be really complex AV setups. And it does it while actually enhancing performance. It feels like a shortcut to getting high-quality video and audio distribution without those old compromises, signal loss, cable mess.
Totally. So what does this all mean for you, the listener? Well, if you've got a big living room, maybe a multi-room setup, or even a business presentation space where you absolutely need pristine quality over a distance, exploring HD-based solutions like this WolfPack one seems definitely worth your time. And that power over cable feature, just think about that alone. How it could simplify your installation, letting you put displays exactly where you want them, not just where the power outlets happen to be.
It really opens things up.
It really does. Imagine the possibilities that unlocks. It's pretty clear that with innovation like this, our connected lives can genuinely become simpler, more capable, and ultimately just a lot more enjoyable.